What's up, everyone? Have you ever been protective of someone, sort of taken someone under your wing and made sure that he or she was okay? Perhaps one of your kids or a new person at work. Well, that's the way Paul was with the Christians in Galatia. He had a very special love for them because they were one of the first Christian churches that didn't have a predominantly Jewish background. They weren't Jews for Jesus, they were Gentiles for Jesus. And so Paul showed up and laid hands on people and asked the Holy Spirit to come, and the Holy Spirit came. And they formed communities around that experience and the power that came through the Holy Spirit. And he taught about Jesus and what Jesus was about, and people got pretty excited about it. And then he left on his travels. Well, some other folks showed up and said, hey, you guys aren't doing it right. You guys are focusing on the Holy Spirit and on Jesus, and you're not following the Jewish rules. In fact, you got to become Jews to be good Christians. And why don't you get circumcised while you're at it? And Paul got really upset when he heard about this, and he wrote back really quickly to the Galatians saying, don't listen to these people. If anybody teaches a different gospel than the one I'm teaching, then let him be accursed. And Paul was absolutely convinced that people could become Christians without first becoming Jews and all that came with being Jewish. Now, that was not necessarily accepted by all the leading Christians. So Paul got called into the home office and pretty much asked to account for himself. How can you make Christians out of people, ignoring all of the Jewish culture and the layers and layers of stuff that comes with that? What's this direct sort of detour, shortcut to God without being Jewish? And he had seen it work, and he was very protective of this community. And he wanted to make sure that they stayed connected with God and didn't step backwards. So basically what he says here, Galatians 2:16, is that we're made right through faith in Jesus, not through following the Torah or the law or being Jewish. So folks, there's nothing wrong with laws. We need laws. Laws are important. Laws keep order. Martin Luther said laws are a regal and a spiegel. A regal is a curb. It keeps us from going off the road with our cars, running up on the sidewalk. And a spiegel is a mirror. The law sort of helps us to understand how we fall short and what we need to work on. So it's a mirror to look into our own soul. And it's also a regal. And Martin Luther talked about that 500 years ago. So the law is a good thing. And plus, we need rules for kids before they learn to be led by the Spirit and learn to be full of the Spirit and led by God directly. And a lot of us are still in process with that. We're following the rules until we can really follow the Spirit during the day. And to ask the Holy Spirit every morning, where are you going to lead me? What are we going to do together? How is your power going to help me accomplish what I need to accomplish today? That's what Paul was talking about. So basically, to translate that to us, since most of us are Gentile Christians, not Jewish Christians, how are we going to let the Holy Spirit lead us into the path of Christ? How are we going to let him guide our days and help us make decisions? And that's how we get close to God, not by following the rules. The rules are like the first stage of a rocket that get us going in life, but that's expendable. And to get into orbit, we need something else. So I'd invite you every morning, something that challenges me, to ask the Holy Spirit to lead me through the day and to help make decisions for me, and not just use God as an additive to stuff that we've already come up with. That's the good news for today, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow.